next speaker is an American politician and attorney. Matt Shea represents the 4th Legislative District in Washington House of Representatives. He has a Christian radio show, Patriot Radio on the American Christian Network. Matt served as captain in the United States Army. He's a graduate of Gonzaga Law School and is a local Spokane Valley resident.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? All right, if you don't want your kids to watch pornography at school, come sign the R90 petition. It is right over here, okay? Make sure you sign that before you leave.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tyranny is a disease.
Yes.
A virus, if you will. And I submit to you that we should tell Governor Inslee today that it is our aim to quarantine tyrants in America. Now, the idea that cowardice and coddling and capitulation is the right way to go is hateful to Americans, to real Americans. It's hateful to real Americans. Because Marines didn't wade through the blood and the mud at Tarawa so that we grovel for our rights from the king's table.
Come on!
Soldiers didn't wade ashore at Normandy so that we send letters only to be rebuffed for our own safety. Our military has fought in so many battles, people that I know personally that have fought and died. And if you've never written a letter home to somebody's family that they're not coming back again, you don't really understand the sacrifice that Americans have paid so that we can stand here today and say we don't get permission, we get liberty. We are open for business. Now I want to say something. There used to be something called the Black-Robed Regiment. At the beginning of the Revolution, they set the moral foundation for what the Founding Fathers then turned into this great country. If you're a pastor and you are asking the state when you can open up, when you can do communion, when you can do weddings, when you can do funerals, you are a state church. Right. You are not the Church of Jesus Christ. About 3 years ago, we brought up the issue that they were setting up this network of potential relocation camps in Washington State. And the media said, that's just a conspiracy theory. And now today in Klickitat County and here in Spokane County at the county fairgrounds, there are internment camps, isolation facilities. And I have to ask, is that America? No! Is that America? No! Oh, but Matt, it's voluntary. And then if you read down at the bottom of the sheet, it says, unless you don't comply, and then we're going to make it mandatory. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, in his book, The Gulag Archipelago, probably one of the foremost freedom books ever written, pages 15 and 16, he writes about how they're in the Gulag and they're asking the question, what point should we have done something? Can you imagine that? You are in the Soviet Gulag in Siberia and you are asking the question, at what point should we have done something? And his answer to that question was very simple. When they come to take our neighbor's stuff. Folks in Washington State right now, when Governor Inslee flatten the curve, and now he's trying to flatten the economy. He is coming to take our neighbors' stuff. Right now is the time to stand. Right now is the time to stand. We need to stand with those businesses that are standing, those churches that are standing, those organizations that are standing. When that bureaucrat gets up in the morning and they say, we're going to go after that business today, they should meet thousands of people standing around that business saying, good morning, bureaucrat. What are you doing here today? Would you like a cup of coffee? Because we're open for business. That is the kind of courage we need in America. And I've got to tell you something. The rest of the country is watching what we're doing in Washington State. Yes, they think that Governor Inslee's a train wreck, and we probably agree with that. But they're more importantly looking, how are we reacting? What are we doing? So let's stand today and show the rest of the country that Washington State, and specifically Spokane County, is leading the way to say, no more tyranny, no more tyrants. We are going to put our lives, our honor, and our sacred duty on the line. On the line today. Everything on the line today so that our kids can have freedom. Amen? Our kids will have freedom. Our kids will have freedom for what we stood for today. Now, the media doesn't write history. We do. And there are going to be a lot of folks around the country who are going to say, you guys up in Washington State, you freedom guys, you're pretty weird. I don't care what you call me, as long as I die and my family dies as free men and free women in the greatest country that has ever existed on the face of the earth. So go back home, encourage your neighbors, encourage your friends, and encourage your family that now is the hour, and what we are doing today will echo through history. What we are doing today will be the story we tell our children. What we are doing today will be the memory we most cherish, that when the call came, we stood for freedom. We stood for liberty in the face of tyrants and in the face of evil. God bless you guys. Thank you very much.